My name's Jimmy.
What's up, you guys? Jim here, and after the long wait, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 2 is back with a brand new episode. And here's my review for episode 11, titled Aftershocks. And just like the title of the episode, this is pretty much like the aftermath of everything that happened in the mid-season finale, which I have to say, that was a big shocker of the season finale, I have to say. And, pretty much them, because of Trip dying, which I'd have to say I was one of those people that was saddened. I guess you could say he became one of my favorite characters on the show. But in this episode, we do find out that Sky's been put into quarantine because all the stuff that happened down there in that city. I mean, hey, can't be too careful. But we eventually find out that Raina was changed in a different way. She was physically changed. S.H.I.E.L.D. knows about it. But because of that, Simmons, she wants to get samples of Sky because, she thinks it may be contagious and wants to be sure. But eventually, both Mac and Fitz are kind of interested in that too because, he doesn't want what happened to him to happen to anyone else. So eventually Fitz, kind of confronts Sky about it. Everything's like shaking, and they even shaked once before when people were like, they were all arguing about Trip, which Fitz finds out that she's inhuman. But when he does come back, and May's like already there, he acts like, oh, I was taking her blood, and, I made a mess. And that was a little bit of a relief, because I was like, they're supposed to be family. You don't act like that towards family. So that was a really big relief. And also, Bakshi, I'm not totally sure if I'm pronouncing the name. They decide to hand him over to General Talbot, but they first were able to use him, into making him think he was being saved. Pretty much tricked him into killing off some of those, not so much those higher ups from Hydra. And then they take him to General Talbot, which I think, even though they're Hydra, it was nice to get off multiple heads, which, we can assume after watching this episode, like, I guess you could call him the new Red Skull, is Baron von Strucker, which, he was a higher up in Hydra in the comics. But, but eventually Raina does go after Sky's father, trying to ask for his help. He said, just kill yourself, because it hurts. So she eventually tries to walk into the street. I guess some people wanted to capture her, probably Hydra people, because of their fascination with that city. But she was saved by a man who just teleported in there, which brings us to the flashbacks of the episode that happened in the beginning. Sky's mother, I guess, helped, and, spoiler alert, helped these Inhumans. I mean, which makes sense considering that she was Inhuman herself, which the flashback is the guy who teleported there to help Raina. Yeah. But, pretty much the after scene of the episode, we actually find out there are some traitors in S.H.I.E.L.D. And this is spoiler alert if you have not watched the whole episode. It looks like Mac and, I'm just going to call her Mockingbird. It looks like they are both traitors. So would that make her a triple agent? But yeah, that's pretty much it for the episode. I have to say, out of all mid-season premieres that I've seen this year, I say this takes the cake. I mean, to be fair, I mean, it had some more questions for me to ask after the end of the episode, unlike these other shows. It's like, you know, that's just the way I feel towards this. But I have to say, this show, it had a rough first season, but it's been making up for it for the second season. And hopefully the ratings will get good enough for them to renew it again. Because I'd like to see this show go on as long as they can. Because, it's nice to, it's our first Marvel Cinematic Universe TV show. I mean, so, and I like what they're doing with this season. Because even though we're not going to be seeing an Inhumans movie until 2018, I believe, it's nice to see them introduced beforehand. I guess so we can kind of get acquainted with them. Because me, I have very little knowledge on the Inhumans. My only knowledge is from the 90s Fantastic Four cartoon, which I barely remember them at all. I mean, I remember Black Bolt, which, Black Bolt can't speak because his voice is so powerful. But that's pretty much it on my knowledge. It just, this episode makes me want to know what's going to happen next, which gets me pumped for next week. But yeah, that's pretty much it on my thoughts on the episode. Let me know yours down below. And also in other Marvel related news, the new Marvel Cinematic Universe Spider-Man movie has finally got its title. And it's going to be called The Spectacular Spider-Man. Which I have to say, it fits. It's something different. It's not like there's a whole bunch of Spider-Man names that they can choose from. They can't say amazing because, you would think, oh, it's a sequel. I mean, if you just called it plain Spider-Man, people would probably be thinking too much of it being connected to the Sam Raimi Spider-Man. They can't use Ultimate because that's Miles Morales. They can't use Superior because it's technically not Peter Parker. But, yeah, definitely looking forward to that Spider-Man movie when it does come in 2017. But, like I said, answer both of those questions and also be on the lookout for my other reviews, which I also review. Once Upon a Time, The Walking Dead, Gotham, and also Arrow and The Flash. And soon I will be doing a review for the Daredevil Netflix series. And I may do that show Powers. It just really just depends on how I can schedule it in. But as always, my name is Jimmy, and until next time, bye.